This is the new Copilot Studio. Today we will build an agent together from scratch. First of all, we want to create an agent using the new GitHub Copilot harness. Two things before we click on that. The engine choice is permanent. We cannot convert to the classic experience later. Two, you pay while you build. Every test costs credits before you even publish anything. Now you know, let's get started. So go click the agent here and let's talk a little bit about our case. We want to create an HR agent that can answer questions based on knowledge. For that, I've created a PDF employee handbook, which you will see here. 25 pages covering a lot of different topics, including a who to ask section and a template for sending emails when the employee want to go on a leave. So with that in place, let's give our agent a name. Our company today is the fictive company Norfolk HR Agent. We can also give it a logo, so if I click here, then I can upload a logo. I've also included the PNG and the PDF in the video description, so you can do all of this with me. We can drag and drop or simply just click here and go to our desktop and find the PNG logo. You will see it here and we can click apply. Then I also want to give it instructions. What you can see here is the important part. This is a guide to what you can write. We can write role, scope, tone, when to ask questions. That's not a filter, that's the recipe of this agent. So here you want to type your instructions. So what I do is to say you are the HR assistant for Norfolk employees. Then we can make a few line breaks just to make it more readable for us. Answer only from the employee handbook and name the chapter your answer comes from. So then we can make it quote the actual source. Then I also want to say be brief and friendly. That's the tone. If the handbook doesn't cover it, say so. And point to the right contact from, that was chapter 16. I also want to say never guess. With these large language model that powers this, you can see those up here in model. Those ones are guessing on the most predictable answer. So what I do here is to choose the model. We can see the managed models. These ones are hosted in the Microsoft environment in Azure. So we want to use those today over, for example, the Claude Fable 5, even though this is fantastic. What I can do here is to take GPT-5 Chat, GPT 5.5 Chat, or the GPT 5.6 reasoning. There's a trade-off. This model up here is fast. This one is a bit slower, but produces better results. For an agent that we want to interact with our HR handbook, the PDF, I want to go with the reasoning models. But I recommend that you try the different models and pick their traits. So this is not a cheap model either. When we use credits, you will see that this one is cheaper. However, that's enough here. Then I also want to add the knowledge. You can see the knowledge down here. So I click plus. Here I can take public website, SharePoint, Azure SQL, OneDrive for Business. I recommend that you link your data sources, because then when the folder updates and where the source is, for example, if you give it an entire folder, then you will get the new data. Or if you point it to a file, Then when the file updates, you will also get the new data. However, today we want to create a fast agent. So this is just to get you familiar with the entire interface. Click here and then find the PDF. You will also find the PDF in the video description. We will add that to the agent, and I think that this will take roughly 20 seconds. Back here in the background, we can see that on the knowledge, we now add the PDF, but we can also see that we let it search all websites. I don't want that. I want to make the knowledge only the data that the model is trained on and the PDF, and I don't want the agent to go look online for an answer, so we want to disable this. We also want to talk about skills. So this is where the new Copilot Studio changes the most. You will not find topics here. Topics in the old Copilot Studio experience guided the model. Now you will use skills. They are easier to figure out. Here we can see that we can upload a skill, we can generate with AI, or we can create from blank. Let's go create it from blank. So what is a skill? A skill got a name, it got a description. This tells the agent when to invoke this skill, and then we have the skill itself down here. So we can give it a name. Since this one should be invoked when the employee want to request a leave request, then we will name it like this: draft leave request emails. This is also the format that Microsoft recommends, so we'll just use that format. Then the description. So drafts leave request email when and maybe I'll have it there. When an employee asks for time off. Then we can also make it a little bit easier for the agent to know when to use this. So we will add some synonyms. We can say vacation, Norfolk days. These one will be days for the employees. Also time off. We can say unpaid leave, and let me just add a K here. Unpaid leave, parental leave, or vacation. Then you will see that these instructions, those ones here, are in Markdown format. It's not mandatory. What I will do is to delete those. Let's add some simple instructions for now. So what I want to do here is to say when an employee wants time off, draft the leave request email to, let's say it's to norfolk.com. Follow chapter 8, include all required fields. And let's talk a little bit about what chapter 8 is. Let me show you that in the PDF. If I go up to here, we can see that these are the fields that we want in the leave request email. I will also have the appendix A, where we will have an email leave request template. So we can also, and a working example, we could also direct it to that. Maybe that would be even better. Or we could say in appendix A, you will find an example of the leave request email. By giving it examples, it will be easier for it to know how to draft an email. Then we'll also say ask for any missing field and do not invent values. Here I will say that this is actually important because I've seen agents not only limited to Copilot Studio but also in Cloud Code, Codex, etc., where the models will invent values. So to prevent this will not be 100% bulletproof. Then we need to work more on the instructions. Then we will write this. So now we have a skill and we have some knowledge. Then we can also talk about tools, connected agents, memory. Those ones will be in the next video lesson, so stay tuned. Up here, we can test our agent. So you can go up to preview. Here you can see, hello, I'm Norfolk HR agent. How can I help you today? Then we can say something like, how many vacation days do I get? And then you will see that Norfolk HR agent is going to work. We can see here that it loaded a skill. We can also see that this skill was actually not the skill that we created. That's because it got internal skills. We can also see it searches knowledge. That is great. And these ones here, you will not see those when you are a user. If you go up here to the upper right corner, then you can toggle this on. This is the end user preview. Then you will just see the thinking. And because this is the reasoning model, then you can also see it analyzes a PDF. Then this answer will take longer than else. Here I can see that we have 30 paid days, 25 vacation days, and 5 Norfolk days. That is from chapter 5, vacation and holidays. We can even see a source here, and that source is this PDF. And let me again show you chapter 5. Here we have it, vacation days 25 and Norfolk days 5, all good. Let's test it even further. So if I go down here and say, what's the bonus structure at Norfolk, this question it cannot answer, or it should not answer. That's because this is not covered in the knowledge. So here I would like to see that it does not guess. It should not invent up answers. And I want to say, I don't know. So this is important. We call an agent that doesn't tell the truth. We call it hallucinating. We want to avoid that. This reasoning 5.6 reasoning model from GPT is exceptional in avoiding hallucinations. So here you will see that the handbook doesn't specify Norfolk bonus structure. For details, contact Sophia Brandt, head of people at hrnorfolk.com. This was exactly what we wanted. This was chapter 16. Let's also test our skill. Remember, we created an email skill, and if I say I want 2 weeks off in October and send it, then it should ask me for the fields. So let's go see it. Now you will see that it loads skills, and again I can choose the end user preview toggle up here. Then the user will just see the thinking. This is also to avoid confusion, but when I'm a builder, then it's nice to see what actually happens. I can even expand those further here, all the arrows down here, then we can see what is actually going on. You will find that it can take a little time. I like it, and that's because I want to follow all the details. Anyway, to draft the request, the employee, that is NFL, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, leave type, well, unpaid days. So the 2nd October. And the nice thing here is that even how I write it, I can even make a spelling mistake here. Then October 2026 to 14th of October 2026. So even though that I write it in different formats and doesn't make it large, it will fine understand it, and it's perfect for those of us that does not spell 100% correct all the time. So the handover contact, that will be Stine Rasmussen, and line manager's name, that will be Rasmus Stinesen, something like this. Then it's just to send the answer. We will see that it also calculates the total working days from our dates. And now we will have this request. So here you will see that the first day is the 2nd and the last day is 14th. And let me just show you that this actually works. So what I do here is to go to the October. So that's the 6th, that's the 2nd. And the last one is 14 down here because we have 3 weekends, or there, and there. Then it's only 9 days. All good. So it actually do exactly what we want. Now we tested it. Then I also want to go live with this and also keep saving this. There's no autosave, so you need to save it. We could, however, just have put pushed publish. That will both save and publish this. But because I want to show you the save, then we did that first. So now it will publish. 2 places where you usually want to publish those, that is Teams and 365 Copilot. Of course, you can publish it to SharePoint, an external website, Slack, WhatsApp, etc., etc. Because we are in the Microsoft 365 universe, these are the 2 sources that we usually want to publish at. So now this can take a little bit of time. Let us just fast forward a bit in this live build. That's it. So now with this publish in place, we can also see that we can use evaluate and monitor. And if I go up here and click the drop down, then we'll also see it says agent publish and when it was published. So I want to publish it to Teams and Microsoft 365. So I will toggle this, and then you will see that we have a few options here. Do I want to make the agent available in Microsoft 365 Copilot? I can turn that on. Then I will also see that this becomes available. I can also use edit some of the details. Because right now, you will see a little preview. You can see it says build using Microsoft Copilot Studio. We can change that, and then we can say something like answer questions from the Norfolk HR handbook. I could also change the long description if I want to add create an agent disclaimer. I can change my developer name. I'm Anders Jensen, by the way. I could change the website if I wanted that. And I can even make terms of use, etc. But this is good. Then I will also can also make the available here. I can share the agent, or I can also, if my organization afterwards, I can also share it to the org catalog. Again, I've made it a complete video about that. So what we do now is to say save and publish. This will save the new changes and then it will publish. When this is published, we can start to use it. I recommend that we just test it ourselves before we roll this out to the organization. You will also see that, for example, the logo, for some reason, it takes currently 1 to 2 hours before the logo is updated. So don't be sad if you see the old school robot logo the first 1 to 2 hours. Let's fast forward over this to Teams. Let's click Teams. You will get this one here. I can open it. Then Teams will open. Take a few seconds and then you will see it here. This is also what I told you about. You will see that this logo here is still the old robot logo, and it still says your developer name and build using Microsoft Copilot Studio. Your next video about pricing of this new Copilot Studio experience is right here. See you.